Who we got, Chris?
Right now, we got James in Coffeyville on the line with us. James, go ahead.
James, got you, James. Go ahead.
How you doing, Paul?
Okay, good to have you, brother.
Thank you, man. Look, I've just been listening to your show and listening, about the rule of forestry land and dogs and tracking collars.
Yes.
And the only thing concerns me is listening to the whole conversation because, I've been a dog hunter for years and I've had tracking collars for years. And I heard a gentleman say, landowner took an affidavit out on a hunter because his dog was on his land. Having tracking collars is not going to prevent that from happening because you're going to have cases that you can't get to your dog, and naturally it's probably going to get on some land at times. And I just, my personal opinion is, where is this going to end at? Hunters bickering backwards and forwards, steel hunters versus dog hunters, and, this hunter versus turkey hunters. And, the tracking collars are that's not the answer to solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever passed that law, my opinion, they're just wrong.
Well, would it come back in there with that? You said one of the problems they have is somebody will own 30 acres and turn around and let $30 go on 30 acres and knowing they're not going to stay on the 30 acres.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
Now, I'm talking about a good, honest hunter that's
okay.
not trying to impose on no landowner.
Uh-huh.
I'm not talking about a person that just wants to go out and dump 2 truckloads of dogs in a place he knows he shouldn't anyway. No, I'm not supporting that now. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But you got hunters like myself. I would never do that. And I know a lot of other hunters that would never put their dogs anywhere near somebody's land that didn't want dogs on it. But a tracking collar is not going to stop a dog from getting to somebody's land.
Do you know of anything that would? I can't think of anything that would.
Well, that's my point. So, the law of having to have a tracking collar, and then that's going to keep that dog from getting on a man that don't want the dog on his land. There's a lot that's not going to happen.
James, that was not the reason for the tracking collar. Some of the complaints that came in from those landowners were dogs were left on their property after the season, when the dog season ended, and then it was primitive weapon season where they couldn't run. This would allow those people opportunity and a way to get them back off this property. When these people signed on to hunt this public land, they agreed to go by these regulations this year, and that's where the citations came from in the Homachita. And the tracking collar is not like a shock collar. It's a tracking collar, but these landowners, said, hey, sometimes a month after the season, we still had dogs hanging around our camp, and these people wouldn't come get them. So the tracking collar, and like Major Lane Ball said, that most of the hunting groups down there were proud of the regulations and liked it and thanked them for doing it. And but some people are confused that the tracking collar is all it was to help them get those dogs back off those people's private property. And when these people agreed to hunt this U.S. Forest Service land for no charge whatsoever, it's public land, they said we'll follow the rules, and one of those rules is keep your dogs off the private property. I guess See, I'm not from down there, and I didn't have to enforce this. I'm sure it was a nightmare on the officers and the hunters and the landowners, and it sounds like they come up with a pretty good solution.